Welcome to Taro. From now on, we go across Hijiribashi Bridge, which is visible to the right, and we'll go to Akihabara. I will explain the building on the way. We see Holy Resurrection Cathedral in Tokyo backward. It was built in 1891 by St. Nicholas, equal to the Apostles, Archbishop of Japan. This building becomes the precious cultural heritage for a town of Achanamizu, changing rapidly. We are going across Hijiribashi Bridge. The building of the green roof and the sleeve of the bridge is Yushima Temple of Confucius. There is a mausoleum, which has deified Confucius, who is a founder of Confucianism. Although Confucian thought remains throughout Asia, it remains especially to South Korea most strongly. Since there is a shrine that deifies the guardian deity of Akihabara, on the way, let's drop in. This is Kandami Wojin. Kandami Wojin is considered to be a local guardian deity including Akihabara. The animism faith is seen all over the world, but is seen in Japanese particularly conspicuously. It is supposed that 8 million or more gods exist in Japan. A door is opened also to exotic gods. The gods of Japanese ancient times are deified in a shrine, and the gods of Buddhism and Hinduism are deified in a temple. And at a church, a prayer is offered to Jesus Christ and Virgin Mary, and they are offered to Allah in the mosque. We are going to Akihabara from the west. It is displayed on the road sign that Akihabara is ahead. Let's follow this way straight. The building of a beige color is SoftMap. SoftMap is the greatest electrical appliance shop chain in Akihabara Electronics Quarter. Let's go into a right alley. This is Kotebukiya. It is a toy shop. Kotebukiya manufactures and sells the figure with the outstanding modeling technology. The beautiful women's figure, model kit, and manufactured tool are sold. This is Akihabara. Akihabara chain has many stores in Akihabara. Chinese-made electric goods, miscellaneous goods, and toys are sold. This shop is always full of the people who want to buy even 1 yen cheaply. Many electric parts of junk are sold at the roadside. Neither a box nor description is attached. The seller does not understand it for some either. It is just the Akihabara style. The elevated railway of J.R. Sobu line has appeared. The branch of a trader company can be seen under an elevated railway. Let's turn at this alley on the left, without passing through the bottom of an elevated bridge. Let's look back upon and see the way along which we have walked. In the evening, attraction changes in this alley. So we are going to visit it again at that time. Then let's return to a search. This is the Tokyo Radio Department Store. Although it seems to be one store, it is an aggregate of the small shops selling electronic components such as a transistor, a diode, and resistor. When you are going to build a Skynet or convert DeLorean, the knowledge of the electrical engineers here is helpful. Similar shops crowd in the circumference of Akihabara Station. We came out to the main street named Juadori. This way is connected in order of Ueno, Akihabara, Kanda, Nihonbashi, the Ginza, and Shinbashi from north. This is one of the branches of SoftMap. Founder Kei Suzuki of SoftMap made acquisition and sale of a used personal computer on a large scale in the 1980s. Since it was the time when the computer spreads through Japanese society exactly, the enterprise of SoftMap was expanded greatly. By the difference in an operating system, the Japanese computer maker restrained the user, maintained the high product price, and was gaining big profits those days. When Windows 95, which Microsoft Corporation put on the market, spread explosively, all the computers could use the same software. Many computer manufacturers were born all over the world, and have begun to make many computers. The cheap computer was full of the town, and the price of Japanese-made computers slumped. Since SoftMap had held used Japanese-made computers in large quantities, it received the great blow by sudden fall of stock. The management of SoftMap turned worse, and the business largely reduced. Although SoftMap became a small company, the management loved by poor people is continued. This is a trader's head office. Traders making acquisition and sale of used game machine and game software. At the transaction volume of a game, it is the second place in Akihabara. Trader was a subsidiary of Mesei Suno. In 2011, Mesei Suno was dispersed and Trader absorbed it. It was a symbolic occurrence that the parent company, which owned the brand new game, was absorbed by the subsidiary, which owned the used game. Let's go into one of the stores of a trader and go upstairs. The world of a sexual fantasy spreads out in the inner part of a door. This point cannot enter unless you are aged 18 and over. An Amit is seen in the other side of the street with Orano Anna. Both sell coterie. The coterie is the generic names such as comics, and a novel, an animation, the game, that were drawn to distribute it only between a person having the same affinity orientation. This is one of the amusement facilities which Taita Corporation runs. In 1978, Taita Corporation released the game console named Space Invader for business use. With the explosive blockbuster of Space Invader, home TV game industry was born in Japan. Taita becomes the subsidiary of the Square Enix Holdings now. There is Don Quixote's Akihabara store along Animate. Don Quixote is a comprehensive discount shop. Because AKB48 member performs a live concert by turns in the theater in the shop, Akihabara store is famous. In Japan, AKB48 is the most popular and is a very busy female idol group. Yasushi Akimoto producing AKB48 continues overturning the common sense of the Japanese music industry. Takao Yasuda of the Don Quixote founder behaves in the same way in the circulation industry. They are changing Japanese society greatly. This is Tsukumar Electrical Machinery. By management which was excellent in a founder's Isamu Suzuki, many stores were located once in Akihabara. When Isamu Suzuki died in 1997, maintenance of many stores became difficult and Tsukumar went bankrupt. In 2008, Tsukumo Electrical Machinery is managed by the subsidiary of Yamada Denki Company, Limited now. Taro Aso was elected Japanese Prime Minister in 2008. Aso is a politician rare in Japan, who loves comics and animation, which have been made into a poor person's art. Although Aso resigned the Prime Minister in 2009, the nerds who gather to Akihabara adore him, continue hanging up this signboard, and are waiting for Aso's return. We reach the north end of the Akihabara Electronics Quarter. The name of this street is Kurama Ebashidori. The point beyond this street is a business district. The track, which runs away our side, shows off the advertisement that tempted young women to work by sex industry. We cross the street and progress 100 meters. Many foreigners visiting Akihabara gather in this shop. Meal charges cost dearly in Akihabara. There is McDonald's in near the station, but is full of teenagers. Because this shop is far from the station, there are few visitors in this shop, and can relax calmly. We return to search of an electronics quarter. Let's go a Central Avenue south. The sun has inclined west. We are walking along the Central Avenue, toward the station. There are many stores of Liberty. This is a head office of Liberty. In the Akihabara Electronics Quarter, it is the third place in acquisition of pre-owned video games and volume of sales. However, the market of a computer game is reduced. Those who enjoy a game with a mobile phone increase in number, and a game machine and game software become difficult to sell. The stores, which treat a computer game, even in Akihabara, decrease in number, and are also reducing store space. Liberty had shifted the chief article to the hobby field promptly. Liberty is making acquisition of the used article of a figure, a railroad model, a plastic model kit, and a toy, and a sale now. Transaction volume is the most numerous in Akihabara. Many of Japanese live in the small house called a rabbit hutch from a foreigner. Therefore, when figure collectors buy a figure, they sell the figure, which they have, and vacates a storage place. Liberty is very useful to collectors. Please see a front building. The nerds gathering in Akihabara do not have physical strength. It is difficult for them to go upstairs. Therefore, an upper layer story has a cheap house rent, and the store of a small capital is fighting on the idea. We crossed the central avenue. We are walking along the alley besides the building, which was being seen from the other side of the avenue. The store in front of us is a general dealer. Some shops selling kebab of the Turkish dish are in Akihabara, and may appear to plural stands. This store is a coffee shop. Takeout crepe is sold from the window of a store. Let's turn at the alley of the point of this store on the left. The kamifusang has appeared. A kamifusang means it, as the balloon made from paper. It is the last survivor of the small game retail store which there was in Main Street of Akihabara much once. In addition to a conventional game machine and game software, kamifusang began acquisition and sale of the clothes for costume play, and a beautiful girl's figure. It corresponds to reduction of a game market, and is groping for the method to be survived for a long time, at least one day. This is the Akihabara branch of Mandalarchy. The comics have been considered to be expendable supplies in Japan. Founder Masuzo Fukawa of Mandalarchy is trying hard to make Japanese people recognize that comics is a cultural heritage which should take over to the next generation. Therefore Fukawa built the market where the old book of comics circulated at a fair price by an own effort. The price list of Mandalarchy becomes a base price of comics in Japan. Since the center of activity is located in Nakano, it limits for touching lightly here. We came out in the Chuadori. Let's return in the direction of a station. Since it is the way along which we walked once, may I fast forward? Japan lost many things during the period called Lost 20 Years. Konosuke Matsushita, founder of Panasonic, Soichiro Honda, founder of Honda Motor, and his partner Takeo Fujisawa, Masaru Buka and Akio Morita, founder of Sony. Whenever a superior leader left this world, Japan declined, losing the leaders who were thinking employees. As important above all, Japanese business administrators came to think that stock certificate, land, and the work of art are more important rather than the employee of their company. The managers of Japanese companies discharged many workers, who have continued succession of know-how over numbers of generations. All the sections of research and development, production, and management deteriorated, and Japanese companies lost global competitiveness. Many Japanese lost the job. Japanese consumers' purchasing power is declining steadily. Let's pass through the bottom of the elevated railway of JR Sobu Line. Onoden Boy is running. Onoden Boy is a mascot character of Onoden. Onoden is the last traditional domestic electric appliance store in Akihabara. Many stores disappeared from Akihabara. Nakawara, Satomusen, Yamaguwa, T-Zone, Ishimaru Denki. It is called one of the 7 wonders of Japan. That such big chain stores disappeared and Onoden has survived. The Japanese consumers migrated from Akihabara to huge chain stores for cheaper electric appliances. And consumers have begun great migration to the Amazon's mail order now. I request the World Heritage Committee to authorize Onoden as World Heritage in danger. This is Love Mercy. This shop sells weapons and protective gears and tools to be necessary so that you play a role-playing game. It will be helpful to your sexual adventure. The Akihabara Electronics Quarter may become the town where shops like this gather in the future. Digicarrot is looking down on us from the other side of the central avenue. Digicarrot was a mascot character of the specialty store Gamers chain of animation and a comic. Gamers was managed by the Broccoli Company Limited, which was manufacturing the animation in which Digicarrot appears. Animations and games that the Broccoli Company Limited produced succeeded commercially, and the company expanded the store of Gamers nationwide. However, a rapid store expansion backfired, and Gamers became poor business performance, and was sold off to the Animate Limited in 2011. Twilight has also approached this town. Girls induce a visitor to a maid cafe. Although the women serve nerds, like maid in a maid cafe, there is no offer of sexual service. The clientele of the maid cafe is a male customer mainly. In contrast, There are many shops of the Butler Cafe, that the clientele is a woman mainly. It has become dark completely. We crossed the Central Avenue. Then let's go to Akihabara Station. Volks is devising the last attack to the nerds who try to leave Akihabara. Volks manufactures and sells the figure with the outstanding modeling technology. This store serves both as the showroom and the shop. We arrived at Akihabara Station. I was pleasant to have accompanied you today. I am waiting for the time when I can meet you again. Goodbye.
The next station is Ochanomizu. The doors on the left side will open.